Hello everyone, welcome back to Lego Bay City. Today is a very interesting video because we now have here the modular for 2024, which is the Natural History Museum. And I'm very excited to have this set in our Lego City. But as you would always know in my previous videos, this isn't what I'm going to build. So scratch all of this. I will still build another set with this one, but right now I'm going to focus on something else. So I've actually prepared it ahead of time, and I've already separated the parts and arranged them by color mostly. I still have a few bags over there, but overall I am ready to do an alternate design. So I've also prepared a 1.5 base plate of reinforced plate, which will be the base for our building. So I have built and created the design on Studio, and I have the instructions on my iPad, and I will be creating it and building it for our Lego City. Now, of course, by seeing the thumbnail of this video, you would already know what it might look like, but I'll show you how I'm able to do it, and I'll give you an overview after I'm done building. Just as a heads up for those who will be interested in building this as well, since the set has 4,015 pieces, it really is advisable to arrange them, to sort them out before you start the build. It'll be a headache if you don't do it. And even now, I sorted this out for about an hour and a half or so, and it took a while, but I think it will be worth it overall for an enjoyable experience for building this MOC. So let's get started. See you after a few minutes. Three, two, one. There we have it, guys. After 2 weeks of designing and building the alternate design for the Natural History Museum, here we have Olive Street. So as you've seen in my small detailed pictures, it's a corner building, 1.5 base plate, and it's made up of actually 2 buildings, not one here, which has 3 different floors, as well as the other on the corner over there. And I'm really happy with this one. So as you can see, the main reason why I call it Olive Street is because of the olive green color of the facade. Now, most people might be a little bit partial when it comes to the color of the olive green, but for me, I like it. It's the color of the Parisian restaurant, which is really nice in my opinion. And I thought, as it is with this combination of highlight colors such as the tan one, the black and the white, as well as the dark gray, it works really well, and it's not too much, I think, for myself. And I'm really happy with how this one turned out. If you can imagine, 4,015 pieces, and we're able to do this. The remaining parts, I will be happy to say, are just contained in these 2 small containers here. Very little left over, and most of them are the spares that you would have for the small parts that come with the set. Now, these are the bigger pieces But overall, 3,900 pieces are being used in this build right here. So I didn't think I would ever come close to achieving that much in creating an alternate design, but here we are, and I'm happy to have it. So let's go over and see how it looks like in each of the floor, including first the exterior of the building. The main part of the ground floor is the toy store, and I'm happy with the 3D sign that I was able to do for this one, which is toys with a curved S over there. And you have here what is reminiscent of the museum, where you have this really nice tree with all the plants and the fence. I wanted to create still a scene that would be nice on the exterior for people to look out, even if they're not able to open the modular building itself. So given the space that it's 1.5 base plate, there is enough room for things like the statues and the garden with a fence and a small seating area here. And I loved the way that I was able to use the tan and the medium nougat from the entrance up to the interior of the toy store. The main reason as well for having this one is the limitation that I had with the dark bluish gray tiles. So in a way, I'm still able to create a unique but uniform pattern from here up to the inside without it looking like it was just a mishmash of different colors. So I think it would make sense for a toy store to be able to have this and then invite people to come in to the toy store. And then here near the middle, we have the stairs that leads up to the upper levels. And the thing about this is that the back portion over there, which we'll be able to look at a bit later on, can be sort of like a connection to other modular buildings at the back alley, and in a way be able to create scenes in the back portion of the buildings as well. We have here a statue as well, and this one is a space travel agency. Yeah, it's something that just came into mind. As we all know, in 2014, a lot of the Lego themes will have space-related sets. And I thought, this museum has parts in it that has relation to the space theme as well. And in real life, there have been trips of the space stations for very rich people. So I thought, maybe it's time for a space travel agency to be added to a Lego city. So I think that one is unique type of business that could be added to your city as well. And I'm happy with how this one turned out for the arch, for the entrance, as well as having the plants on top, as you can see there as well. And actually this one isn't connected here, but is being held up by studs on the side here and just supported here with these bars and bar holders. So there are some unique techniques that you can learn when you build this one as well. On top here is a uniform window with the curved pieces, and I like this one. I added some connector pins here to add more details, but it's still the same as what it would look like using just the parts from the set. For the dome here, it's similar or very close to the one that is from the set itself. I really loved how they did it, so I just wanted to keep that part of the build here, but the interior is slightly different, wherein it's not an office anymore, but rather a laboratory or another different kind of room. Then here we have the signs or the adverts for Explore the Future, and go back in time. I still wanted to keep those things, although this part here isn't perfect, but hey, adverts are like that anyway, right? And if you don't like it, you can always remove that and just keep those olive green walls intact. Here we have some balcony as we go through the stairs as well. And the way to get up to this portion, which would be like the rooftop, you have a ladder here, and then you can observe using several more telescopes on this area right here. And you can also notice there are two birds' nests. So this building is very friendly to birds. For this portion here on the second level of the toy store, there are two apartments. This one is an office, and this one is an apartment. And for this one, I would really like for you to be able to try out the technique that I used for the walls, to be able to create those patterns and be able to create these ones right here. Usually you would have bricks for that, like 1 and 2 bricks to create those things, but I tried something different with that and I think it worked. It's stable and secure enough that it doesn't move when we lift or move the modules out of each floor. Now going here is another entrance, and from this side actually I think it would work really well to be able to fit with other modular buildings on the sides, just as part of this one. It's very solid when it comes to being able to match up with other buildings. At the back, it's very clean. The only thing that I would want, I think, is to be able to add 2 more windows here, or maybe remove the 2 windows here and use the dark tan for that. But I think overall, for an alternate design, this is just like something that I didn't imagine I could be able to do. The bricks on the set are very uniform in terms of the colors, so it's very easy enough for me to create this. Of course, it's not perfect again, but I mean, you could imagine that this was actually a modular building, an official one at that. So I'm very happy as well. For the roof, I think it's a very nice style. It's using the different angles of the slopes, so to create something with a little bit more texture to it. And the fact that we're able to go and use it all throughout, I think is really nice. Also with this one, we have 2 modified plates that have those edges that add more details to just these sides right here. So given the fact that this set had 4,000 pieces, there were a lot of things to be able to play with and try to make different techniques out of the set. It was a challenge. My brain was hurting all throughout the 2 weeks that I was doing this, but I'm very happy and I was very excited while I was doing this design. So it was quite a challenge, but I'm happy. Now let's go have a look at each floor. Now, looking inside the toy store, you have there the cash register, which has a big robot in front of it, and you have remote controls for the machines and the toys. And then here on this side, you have a setup where you have castle, you have pirates, you have forestmen, and the idea for this one is all the things that are displayed can be purchased by the customers for them to be able to have it as their own toys. So everything is on sale. including the big robots here, the headpieces, or something that they would use for costume parties or Halloween. And here, I think this one is something like a pterodactyl. This one is a dinosaur or a monster of some sort, but it doesn't really have any specific form to it. But it does look nice looking from the outside. And of course, we have here Benny, who's really happy seeing, if you turn the toy store, the space themed area, which has parts that came from the official set for the museum and just turned it into a scene or diorama for space toys that can also be purchased. So Benny might end up buying all those things for himself. Here is the lady and she's the owner of this toy store right here. Another kid here is very happy to be able to see the toy store, and he'll be able to go in really soon. Here we have the back portion of the building, which is simple enough. I added a few tiles here just to cover up the color of the reinforced plates that I put in. And then here you have the trash bin, and you have there the maintenance guy trying to clean up. Now for the space travel agency, we have here the logo for when you try to leave Earth and travel around it and whatnot. And then you have there the lady that sorts out the schedules and the itineraries and whatever is required for you to be able to travel to space. It shows here also the spaceship, which is included in the museum, but here I used it as a sample of the space shuttle that the customers or the clients will be using for the travel. And of course, just like any other office or agency, you have some area where you could have some treats and some tea while the customer is waiting. And then here we have some sample spacewalks that the potential customers could have a look at and view as they wait and try to get their schedule in. So that is for the ground floor. Let's go to the second floor and the third floor. On this side is the astronomer's office. And here you have some sample or dioramas of the planets, although they are not in the same position as they were in the museum. It's more of for the astronomer to study each planet rather than just having them in the rotation form that they have, or rather revolution. So the rotation is when the planet rotates on its axis, and the revolution is when it's going around a certain object. So the Earth revolves around the sun, but rotates on its own axis. Some random information for you guys out there, and girls, of course. Yeah, so more artifacts and dioramas and miniature scales of the planets on the lower level over there. Here is the shared stairwell. Then on this side is the paleontologist's office. So it's a lot bigger. So you have dinosaur bones hanging everywhere. And then you have here books and papers and whatnot for them to study. And then you have the map and the whip on the lower part there, similar to what Indiana Jones would have. And then a camera over there, and of course the table with the typewriter. Maybe they're writing a novel or something. And this one is a built wall clock or grandfather clock. I just added the diamond or crystal here, which is not really included in the instructions, but I had an extra piece, so I thought I'd put it in there just to add more details to this area here. So it's quite big, but I I think I'm able to fill it with enough pieces that it looks like it has a lot of details, and it's not just an open space without any furniture or appliances. Now let's go to the third floor. On the third floor is an apartment which is divided into two. We have the bedroom and the bathroom here. You have there a quite big bed for a Lego set, probably a queen-sized bed. And then here is the small bathroom. You have the kitchen, the sink, the toilet, and then the shower. All the necessities in just a 5x6 open area for the bathroom. Again, we have here the ladder that leads up to the rooftop. And on the other side, we have a big kitchen and a dining area. So I didn't bother on having a living room and a dining area because, of course, we are limited in the space. So I just maximized and made a lot of details for the kitchen with the different pieces like the eggs and the plants and all the different bowls that they have. And then here is the dining area with 3 chairs and some snacks like cookies, donut, and that's not poop. Ice cream or cupcake. There we go. That's the third floor. All done. But wait, there's more. Just like any commercial. We have here a laboratory or another small office that is very similar in terms of the structure from the museum, but I just turned the interior into something else where you have that microscope with the bacteria. So I'm not sure whether to give this to still the astronomer, or maybe he's studying microscopic specimens from outer space. I don't know. But I think it's still very nice to be able to keep this portion because I really like how the technique from the official set really was able to have this kind of dome-shaped curvature that really works well in all angles. Very nicely done by Lego, and I really wanted to keep it as well. And I think overall it matches this layout here, where you have like a tall observatory of some sort. And for next, we will be placing 2 modulars on each side, so you can see how it would look like beside other MOCs that I have created. So here is how the Olive Street is like when it's beside the Town Square commercial building. And on the other side, you have the downtown magic shop. Now, it's very nice to have like a toy store on this side, and then you have the magic shop over there. So you have different kinds of establishments, and I think having something like this layout works really well. There you go. And again, on this side, it just gives you some idea of what it would look like beside other modular buildings. But again, guys and girls, I'm really happy with this design. Like being able to use all the parts that were in, or sorry, not all, but 95% of the parts or plus percent really makes me happy. And if you guys are interested in doing this as well, I will have the instructions available on Rebrickable and Belver Bricks for you to be able to do this as well. Now, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching this video. Again, I really appreciate the support that you guys give to me. This will be one of the biggest and most exciting MOCs that I have done in a while. So I'm very happy to have it in my city. I will see you again very soon for more MOCs and modifications. Until next time, guys. Bye.